My beloved child, there is a profound truth that I want you to grasp today. A truth that has the power to transform every aspect of your life. A truth that, when fully embraced, will bring you peace in the midst of your trials, joy in the midst of sorrow, and hope in the midst of uncertainty. This truth is not just a fleeting word. It is a promise that I, the Creator of the universe, made to you before time even began. It is a promise that has stood through the ages, from the beginning of creation to the present moment. I want you to hear this clearly, as if I am speaking directly to your heart. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. These words, my child, are not just something I said once in the past. They are eternal. They are a covenant, a binding promise that will never break. These words echo throughout the heavens, across time and space, and they have never lost their power. They are as true today as they were when I first spoke them, and they will remain true for all eternity. I know that life can be overwhelming at times. I know that there are moments when the weight of the world seems too much to bear. There are seasons when you feel as though you're standing alone in the middle of a storm, uncertain of where to turn or how to move forward. But I want you to understand this. Even in those moments, I am with you. I have always been with you, and I will always be with you. Think about it. Before the stars were set in the sky, before the oceans were formed, before the first breath of life was breathed into your lungs, I knew you. I had already written your story in the pages of eternity. I knew every step you would take, every trial you would face, and every joy you would experience. I knew the moments when you would feel on top of the world, and I knew the moments when you would feel as though you were sinking. And in each of those moments, my child, I was there. Even when you could not see me, I was present. Even when you felt abandoned or forgotten, I was right by your side. I was the still, quiet whisper in the storm, the peace in your heart when everything around you seemed chaotic. I have never left you, and I never will. When you feel lost, when the road ahead seems unclear, remember this. I am the light that guides you. I am the shepherd who leads you through the darkest valleys. You do not walk alone. No matter where you go, no matter what you face, my presence goes before you, beside you, and behind you. You may wonder, how can this be true? How can I trust that you will never leave me when everything in my life feels so uncertain? My child, I understand your doubts. I know that in your human weakness, it can sometimes be hard to grasp the full depth of my love and faithfulness. But this promise, I will never leave you nor forsake you, is not based on your understanding. It is based on my unchanging nature, on the fact that I am faithful, I am good, and I am always with you, no matter what. Think of the countless times in history when I showed my faithfulness to my people. When the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt, it was my presence that led them out of bondage. When they wandered through the desert, it was my cloud that guided them by day, and my fire that warmed them by night. When they were lost and afraid, I was there, providing for them, protecting them, and leading them into the promised land. And my child, this same God, the same one who led the Israelites through the wilderness, is the one who walks with you today. There is no situation too difficult, no challenge too great that I cannot handle. There is no place you can go where I will not be by your side. You may not always see my hand in the midst of your struggles, but trust this. My hand is always at work, holding you, guiding you, and providing for you. Even in the darkest moments, when you feel as though you're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, you are not walking alone. I am with you. I will never leave you. So, my beloved child, take heart today. Whatever you are facing, whatever you may be going through, remember these words. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. They are not just a comforting phrase to repeat. They are a living, breathing promise from the heart of your Father. When the storms of life come, when the doubts and fears rise, speak these words aloud and let them anchor your soul. I will never leave you, my child. I will never forsake you. These words are your lifeline, your foundation, your peace. Hold on to them, cling to them, and trust in them with all your heart. For my presence is with you always, even to the end of the age. My precious child, I want you to truly understand the magnitude of what I am saying to you today, and I want you to listen with the deepest part of your heart. The promise I have made to you is unlike any promise that any human can make. It is eternal, it is unbreakable, it is unshakable. I have told you in my word, I will never leave you nor forsake you. These words are more than just a fleeting statement. They are the bedrock of my love for you, the foundation upon which you can build your life. I want you to think about the times in your life when you have felt the most alone. Maybe there was a time when you were abandoned by those you loved. Perhaps you went through a season of intense sorrow, and the weight of the world seemed to bear down on your shoulders. Maybe you faced a trial so deep, so overwhelming, that you questioned whether you could take another step. In those moments, it can feel as though everyone and everything has turned away from you. But let me assure you of this, my beloved child. I have never and will never leave you. My promise is not dependent on how you feel or what circumstances surround you. It is based on who I am, the unchanging eternal God. I am not a man that I should lie, nor the Son of Man that I should change my mind. What I say I will do. What I promise I will fulfill. So, even when it feels like the whole world is against you, even when you feel forgotten and lost, I am there. I am with you, holding you, carrying you through it all. Think about how, in the darkest moments of history, I never left my people. Remember when the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt for over 400 years, suffering under the heavy burden of oppression and hopelessness? Did I forget them? Did I turn my back on them? No, my child. I was with them every step of the way. I heard their cries, I saw their suffering, and I came to deliver them. When they were trapped at the Red Sea, facing certain defeat from Pharaoh's army, I parted the waters and led them to safety. I was with them then, and I am with you now. Even when they wandered in the wilderness, my presence was with them. I was the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. I led them, I protected them, and I provided for them. Even when they complained, even when they doubted, I never left them. And I have not changed. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. There may be times in your life when you don't feel my presence, when you feel as though I am distant. But let me reassure you, your feelings do not dictate the truth of my promise. I am not far off. I am not distracted. I am with you, closer than your very breath. You see, I am always present, always near, even when you cannot perceive it. The reality of my presence is not governed by your emotions or your circumstances. My love for you is constant, and I am always near, even in your trials. When you are walking through the valleys, I am right beside you, just as I was with David when he said, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." Psalm 23:4. David knew in his heart that my presence would never leave him, no matter what dangers he faced. And just as I was with him, I am with you. I am your shepherd, your guide, your protector, and your companion. You will never be alone. It's so important, my child, for you to truly take these words to heart. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. These words are not just comforting. They are a divine declaration of my everlasting love and faithfulness to you. It doesn't matter what happens in your life. It doesn't matter what you face. You can rest assured that I am with you, now and forever. There is no trial too great, no mountain too high, no storm too fierce, that my presence cannot overcome. This is not just a promise for the good times, when everything is going well and you feel blessed and peaceful. No, my child, this is a promise for the difficult times as well. When the storm rages, when your heart breaks, when the path seems unclear, I am there. In fact, in those moments of weakness and vulnerability, my presence becomes even more real and tangible. It is in the darkest of times that my light shines the brightest, and it is in the depths of your despair that I will be your refuge and strength. You see, I am not a God who is distant or far removed from your struggles. I am not a God who watches from afar as you endure hardship. No, my child, I am with you in every moment. When you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, I am there to lift you up. When you feel weary and worn out, I am there to give you rest. When you are lost and uncertain, I am there to guide you. I have promised you that I will never leave you nor forsake you, and I will keep that promise. I am not like human beings who might abandon you in times of trouble. My love is perfect, and my faithfulness is unshakable. I am always near, always with you, and always ready to carry you through whatever you are facing. So when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel as though the walls are closing in on you, hold fast to this promise. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Speak it out loud. Let it resonate in your heart. Let it become the anchor for your soul. You are not alone, my child. You never have been, and you never will be. I am with you always, and I will never ever leave you. My beloved child, I want you to take a moment to really reflect on something that is essential for your peace, your strength, and your hope. I am always present with you, especially in your times of trouble. This is not just a promise made in abstract or during the good seasons of your life. This is the unwavering truth that you can cling to when everything else seems uncertain, when your heart is heavy, when your world feels as though it is crumbling. Let me assure you of this. In your deepest moments of struggle, I am closer to you than ever before. You may not always sense it, but know that I am there. I understand your pain, your hurt, and your fears. I see the tears you shed in silence, the burdens you carry that no one else sees. I know what it feels like to walk through the valley of the shadow of death, to feel abandoned, to feel like everything is falling apart around you. And in those moments, I am right there with you, walking beside you, holding you up with my mighty hand. I know that life sometimes feels overwhelming. You may face seasons where you question everything. Why is this happening to me? Why am I struggling? Where is God in this pain? But my child, let me remind you of a powerful truth. I have never left you, and I never will. Even when it feels as if the darkness is closing in, even when you feel isolated or abandoned, my presence is more real than you could ever imagine. The psalmist wrote, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit." Psalm 34:18. And this, my dear one, is not just a comforting verse. It is the truth of my heart toward you. I am near to you in your brokenness. Have you ever been through a time where the weight of your worries seemed unbearable? A time when you felt like you couldn't go on anymore? It might have been a relationship falling apart, a loss that cut deep, a financial hardship, or a time of personal failure. But in those moments, did you know that I was right there with you, offering my strength when yours was failing? I was not distant, watching from afar. I was right there, feeling your pain, and offering you my comfort. When you walk through the darkest valleys, when your heart is shattered, I am there. I don't just watch from a distance. I enter into your suffering with you. I draw near to you, and I offer my presence to you in ways that you can't always see, but are always real. My love doesn't abandon you in your trials. My love strengthens you. My love brings you peace when your mind is racing, and my love holds you when you feel like letting go. The Bible is full of stories where my people have faced immense struggles and found that I was their refuge, their comfort, and their deliverance. Take, for example, the story of Joseph. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. It seemed as though everything was against him. But my child, even in his darkest moments, I was with him. Even when Joseph couldn't see it, I was preparing him for the purposes I had for him. I was with him through every trial, every hardship, and in the end I brought him to a place of honor and purpose that he could have never imagined. And so it is with you, my child. Even when your journey feels uncertain, I am guiding you, preparing you, and using everything to bring about a greater good. Look also at the story of Job. Job was a man who lost everything: his wealth, his health, and even his family. He was in intense suffering, and his friends didn't understand what he was going through. But what Job did not know was that I was right there with him, sustaining him, watching over him. In the end, Job's faith was strengthened, and he was restored. His story is a testimony to the truth that I am with you even in the darkest of moments, and I will never leave you. Though the journey may be difficult, it is through these struggles that I shape you, refine you, and bring you into a deeper understanding of who I am. I understand that life can sometimes feel unbearable, my child. I know that there are times when you wonder how much longer you can stand, but I want you to know that you are never standing alone. You are never facing your battles alone. I am with you every step of the way, offering my help, my strength, my guidance. You do not have to fight your battles in your own strength. I will fight for you. In every moment of difficulty, I am your shield. In every trial, I am your comfort. In every heartbreak, I am your healer. The Apostle Paul knew this truth deeply. In 2 Corinthians 1:3-4, he wrote, "Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God." My child, I am the God of all comfort. You are never alone, my child. No matter what you are going through, no matter how hopeless it seems, I am right here with you. I am always present, ready to pour out my peace, my strength, and my grace upon you. You may not always feel it in the moment, but my presence is there, surrounding you, enveloping you in love. My heart is for you, and I am here to help you through every trial, every storm, and every challenge you face. So when you feel overwhelmed, when you face difficulties that seem insurmountable, remember this promise. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. I will walk through every storm with you, and you will come out stronger, more refined, and more dependent on me than ever before. Trust in my presence, my child, and know that I am with you, always. My beloved child, I want to remind you of something crucial. In every season of life, in every circumstance, I am the one who provides for you. It is not by your own strength, your own wisdom, or your own ability that you receive what you need. I am the one who supplies your needs, and I do it according to my abundant riches in glory. In your moments of want, of uncertainty, or when you feel as though you lack what you need, remember that I am the faithful provider who sees you and knows every need before you even ask. When you face challenges in life, whether they be financial, emotional, or relational, it can sometimes feel like there's no way out. You might wonder, How will I make it through? How will I survive this season of scarcity or struggle? But my child, I want you to know that in those very moments, I am present as your provider. I am always working behind the scenes, orchestrating things in your favor, even when you cannot see it. You may not always understand how, when, or through whom I will provide, but know that I will never fail to meet your needs. Remember the Israelites, my child. They wandered in the wilderness for 40 years, and yet not a single one of them went without. Though they faced hunger and thirst, I provided manna from heaven to sustain them. I caused water to flow from a rock in the desert. Even in the most barren of places, I was their provider. In the midst of their complaints, their doubts, and their confusion, I still provided. And if I could do that for them, how much more will I provide for you, my beloved child? There is a powerful truth in this, my child. You are never alone in your struggle, and I will always provide for you in every area of your life. Whether you're facing a financial crisis, whether your relationships are strained, or whether you're feeling emotionally drained, I am the one who knows what you need. Not only do I know what you need, but I am already working to provide it. And sometimes, my child, my provision comes in ways you may not expect or recognize right away, but you can be sure that I will make a way, even when there seems to be no way. When you feel that you are lacking, remember that I am the God who has already provided for you in the past, and I will continue to provide for you in the future. The Apostle Paul wrote in Philippians 4:19, "And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus." You see, my child, I am your source of provision, and I am able to provide for you abundantly, beyond what you could ever imagine or ask. I can open doors that no man can shut. I can bring opportunities that you never saw coming. I can supply every need according to my wealth, which is endless, without limit, and overflowing. Consider the life of David, my child. He was a shepherd, a young boy with little to his name, yet he was anointed to be king. Though the road to becoming king was long and filled with challenges, I was with him every step of the way. David faced battles, dangers, and moments of uncertainty, but he never lacked for what he needed. I was his shepherd, and he knew that I would always provide for him. Even in his most difficult moments, David declared, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Psalm 23, verse 1. This wasn't just a statement of faith. It was a statement of confidence in my provision. David knew that as long as I was his shepherd, he would never be in need. When you face your own battles, your own moments of scarcity, remember that I am your shepherd too. I know exactly what you need, and I will not allow you to lack. You may not always see the full picture right away, but trust that I am working in your life to provide what you need at the right time. When it feels like the supply is running out, know that I am the one who provides the strength you need to keep going. Even when it seems like everything is going wrong, I am working in ways that you cannot always see, preparing provision for you in ways that will blow your mind. Your provision might come in unexpected ways, my child. It could come through the kindness of someone you least expect, through a door opening that seemed impossible,
or through a peace that surpasses all understanding. Sometimes my provision comes in the form of giving you the strength to endure the trial, the wisdom to make a decision, or the grace to forgive. Provision isn't always about physical things, but about the peace of mind, the joy in your heart, and the comfort in knowing that I am present with you every step of the way. Think about Elijah, my child. There was a time when there was a great famine in the land, and Elijah was in need of food and water. In 1 Kings 17, I sent Elijah to a widow in Zarephath, and though the widow had very little, just enough for one final meal, I told her to feed Elijah first. As she obeyed, Her supply of flour and oil did not run out, and she had more than enough to sustain herself, her son, and Elijah throughout the famine. My provision, like that for the widow, will always be more than enough. It will never run dry. What seems like it's going to be your last bit of strength, your last bit of resources, will become a wellspring of abundance when you trust in my provision. Even when the world tells you it's impossible, remember that I am the God of the impossible. I am able to take the little you have and multiply it into more than enough. My provision is not just about material things. It is about the emotional, spiritual, and relational resources you need to navigate this life. I will give you wisdom when you don't know what to do. I will give you peace when your heart is anxious. I will give you strength when you are weary. You do not have to strive or struggle in your own strength. Lean on me and I will provide everything you need. And my child, remember that my provision is not just for today. I provide for your future too. Just as I took care of the Israelites in the wilderness, I will provide for you every step of your journey. There is nothing you will face that I have not already prepared for. I know the plans I have for you, and they are plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Jeremiah 29:11. So trust in my provision, for I am faithful, and I will never let you down. My beloved child, one of the most precious and comforting truths you can hold on to in this life is that I am with you always, especially in your times of trouble. When the storms of life rage, when you are overwhelmed by burdens, or when you feel like you are standing on the edge of despair, know this: I am right beside you, ready to help. You are never alone in your struggles. Even when the darkness seems overwhelming and the weight of your troubles feels unbearable, I am with you, and I will never forsake you. There may be moments in life when you feel like the world is falling apart. The pain in your heart may feel so heavy that it seems like you cannot bear it any longer. Relationships may break down, dreams may shatter, and you may wonder where I am in the midst of it all. But I want you to remember, my child, that even in those darkest hours, I am right there with you. I'm not distant, I am not far away. I am closer than you think, and I am fully aware of your pain. I am not a distant God who is unconcerned with your suffering. I am Emmanuel, which means God with us. You see, my child, the very essence of my nature is to be present with you in every circumstance. You don't have to face your trials alone. In fact, you don't have to face them at all without my help. You may not always sense my presence with you, but know that I am there, standing beside you, walking through the fire with you. In Isaiah 43:2, I promised you, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. These words are not just a promise to others, they are for you. I am with you through every trial, every hardship, and every storm. Remember, my child, that the very fact that I am with you means that you are not left to navigate your struggles alone. I do not leave you to fend for yourself or to try and figure everything out on your own. I am your help in time of trouble, and I am more than capable of helping you through anything you face. When you feel like you are at your weakest, that is when I am at my strongest. When you feel like you cannot take another step, I am the one who strengthens you to continue moving forward. You are never alone, and you are never without help. The Bible is full of reminders of my constant presence in the lives of my people. David, the great king and psalmist, faced many trials in his life. He was pursued by enemies, faced rejection, and endured hardships. But through it all, he found comfort in my presence. In Psalm 23:4, he declared, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." David understood that I am the kind of God who walks with you through your darkest valleys. When life seems overwhelming, when fear seeks to overtake your heart, remember that I am right there beside you. You are never abandoned. There is a profound peace that comes with knowing that you are not facing your trials alone. There is a strength that arises when you trust in the fact that I am with you. Often, when trouble strikes, it's easy to feel like you've been abandoned or forgotten. You may wonder, why am I going through this? Does God really see me? Does He really care? The answer is yes, my child. I see you, and I care deeply about your struggles. In fact, I care so much that I will not allow you to go through anything without offering my help, my presence, and my comfort. Look at the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, my beloved children. When they were thrown into the fiery furnace for refusing to bow down to an idol, the flames were so hot that the men who threw them in were consumed by the heat. Yet when King Nebuchadnezzar looked into the furnace, he saw not 3 men, but 4. And the 4th looked like a son of the gods. Daniel 3:25. I was with them in the fire. I did not abandon them, and I will never abandon you. No matter how intense the heat of your trials, I will be there with you, protecting you, strengthening you, and guiding you through the fire. In the New Testament, Jesus himself exemplified this truth in the most powerful way. When he was on the earth, he walked among his disciples, and he faced every kind of trial, pain, and suffering. He was betrayed, falsely accused, and condemned to die on a cross. In the darkest moment of his life, when he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Matthew 27:46. He was not truly forsaken. He was fulfilling the ultimate purpose of his mission, taking the sins of the world upon himself. But even in that moment of seeming abandonment, I was with him, and through his sacrifice, he made a way for you to be forever united with me. In your own trials, my child, know that I am right there with you. You may not understand why you are going through the struggles you face, but know this: I am using those very trials to draw you closer to me, to strengthen you, and to teach you to trust in my faithfulness. I am a God who does not waste your pain. I am the Redeemer who can turn every trial, every heartbreak, and every challenge into a powerful testimony of my grace and presence. Sometimes my help will be immediate, and sometimes it will come in subtle ways, but you can be sure of one thing: I will never leave you to fight your battles alone. I will walk with you every step of the way. My presence is not something you have to earn, and it's not something you can lose. I am with you always, no matter what. When the enemy tries to tell you that you are alone, when fear rises up, when doubt tries to creep into your heart, hold on to this truth: I am with you. In your darkest moments, my child, when you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, remember that you are standing on the firm foundation of my love. I will not allow anything to separate you from my love and my help, even in the most difficult seasons of life, when the storm seems impossible to weather. Hold fast to this promise: I will never leave you nor forsake you. Trust in my presence, for I am your refuge and your strength, an ever-present help in times of trouble. Psalm 46:1. You are my beloved child, and I will always be with you. My beloved child, it is one of the most profound and life-altering truths you will ever know. My love for you is unchanging, unshakable, and eternal. It is the very anchor of your soul, the solid ground beneath your feet, and the eternal light that guides you through the darkest times of your life. No matter what you face, no matter how high the waves of life may rise, no matter how fierce the storms of doubt and fear may roar around you, my love for you remains constant and unwavering. I will never leave you, never forsake you, because my love for you is steadfast, eternal, and all-encompassing. It is natural for you, my child, to sometimes question whether you are truly loved, especially when you are facing hardships. The world often defines love in terms of performance, in terms of whether you meet expectations or measure up to certain standards. But my love for you is not based on anything you do or don't do. It is not conditional on your behavior or your circumstances. My love is unconditional. I love you because you are my child, and that love is as unshakable as the very foundation of the universe itself. In the Bible, I give you countless reminders of my love for you. In Romans 8:38-39, Paul says, "For I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord." Can you grasp the depth of that truth?
My child, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can separate you from my love. Not your failures, not your mistakes, not your doubts, not your fears. Nothing in this world or the next can break the bond of my love for you. I am with you through it all, and my love will never waver. In your darkest moments, when you feel unloved, forgotten, or abandoned, let these words remind you of the truth. I am with you, and my love is your unshakable foundation. You may be struggling to understand why certain things are happening, and you may feel distant from me at times, but nothing can ever change my love for you. Even in the midst of pain, disappointment, and confusion, I am still here. My love remains constant. Do you remember the story of the prodigal son? This parable is one of the most beautiful illustrations of my unconditional love for you. The son, after squandering all that his father had given him, chose to leave the comfort of his home and waste his inheritance on selfish living. Yet when he finally hit rock bottom and realized that he had nothing left, he decided to return home, knowing that even as a servant, his father's house was better than the life he was living. And what did the father do when he saw his son approaching? He ran to him, embraced him, and welcomed him back with open arms, saying, "For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." Luke 15:24. This is the kind of love I have for you. No matter how far you have gone, no matter how lost you may feel, I am always here, waiting with open arms to welcome you back. My love is never contingent on your perfection or your ability to get things right. It is always here, waiting for you to return to me. My love is not just for the good times, my child. It is not reserved for moments of joy and triumph. My love is most evident in your moments of struggle and weakness. When you feel at your lowest, when you feel like you are too broken to be loved, that is when my love shines brightest. My love is not like the love of the world, which may fade when circumstances change. No, my love for you remains unwavering, even in your messiest moments. You can run to me with your broken heart, with your fears, your doubts, your failures, and I will receive you with compassion and grace. You are never too far gone for my love to reach you. Think about Jesus, my son, and the ultimate demonstration of my love for you. Jesus, knowing that the path before him would lead to pain, suffering, and rejection, still chose to go to the cross. Why? Because of his great love for you. In John 15:13, Jesus says, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." This is the depth of my love for you, my child. I gave the greatest sacrifice because of my deep love for you. Even when you were far from me, when you were lost in sin, when you were bound by your own imperfections, I sent my son to die for you, to show you that you are deeply loved and forever cherished. In times of suffering, it can be hard to understand the purpose of the pain you experience. But I want you to know that your pain does not diminish my love for you. In fact, it is often through suffering that my love is most powerfully revealed. Through your pain, I am drawing you closer to me, teaching you to lean on me, and showing you that I am with you through it all. Sometimes the journey is difficult, but know that I am walking with you every step of the way. I will never leave you, never forsake you, and nothing at all, can separate you from the depth of my love. I also want you to know, my child, that my love is the anchor of your soul. The very thing that holds you steady when the world is shaking, You are going to face storms in this life, but my love will hold you firm. There will be moments when you will wonder how much more you can take, how much longer you can endure. It is in those moments that I want you to remember the depth of my love for you. I am the rock on which you stand, and as you cling to my love, you will find your heart renewed and your strength restored. When everything else seems uncertain, my love will be the constant, the sure foundation on which you can rely. In your moments of doubt, when fear threatens to overwhelm you, when the enemy whispers lies about your worth or your place in the world, remember this: I love you, and I will never stop loving you. That truth is the bedrock of your faith. It is the anchor that holds you steady when everything around you seems to be in turmoil. I will never leave you, and my love for you will never end. You may not always feel my love, especially when life is tough, but know this: my love is not based on your feelings. It is a constant, unshakable force. It is not subject to your circumstances, your emotions, or your struggles. It is eternal and everlasting. I love you not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You are my beloved child, and I will always love you with an everlasting love. My beloved child, there is a truth that is woven throughout the fabric of Scripture, one that you must carry deep within your heart. I am faithful to you, and my promises never fail. This is a truth that will never change, no matter what circumstances you may face. My faithfulness to you is as constant as the rising of the sun, and it will never fade away. When everything around you may seem uncertain, when it feels like the ground beneath your feet is shifting and you can't find firm ground, I want you to remember this one simple eternal truth: I will never leave you, nor forsake you. My promises to you are unbroken, and they are as steadfast as my own character. The world around you is full of broken promises. People let you down, relationships fall apart, and circumstances sometimes betray you. It's natural to feel disillusioned and disappointed, especially when the people and things you once trusted have failed you. But, my child, I am not like the world. I do not make promises I do not keep. I am not subject to the limitations that govern human relationships. When I make a promise to you, I fulfill it, and I will never break my word. In Numbers 23:19 it says, God is not a man, that he should lie, nor a son of man, that he should change his mind. Does he speak and then not act? Does he promise and not fulfill? I am the God who keeps his promises. When I speak, it is done. When I promise, it is as if it has already been fulfilled. You may not always see the fulfillment of my promises immediately, but know this: I am working in the unseen, and my faithfulness never fails. I am always at work behind the scenes, preparing, molding, and shaping your life to fulfill the perfect plan I have for you. You might be asking, but God, what if I don't see it happening? What if I feel like I'm stuck, or I've been waiting too long? My child, faith requires waiting, and in the waiting, you are being refined. You are being strengthened. I am testing your faith, shaping your heart, and preparing you for the blessings I have in store. In those times of waiting, it's easy to doubt my faithfulness. It's easy to wonder if I've forgotten you. But I assure you, I have not. I see you. I know your struggles, and I am always with you, working in the background for your good. Think of the Israelites wandering in the desert for 40 years. They experienced times of hardship, confusion, and impatience. Yet I led them every step of the way. Even when they grumbled, even when they doubted, my faithfulness did not waver. I fed them with manna from heaven. I gave them water from a rock, and I guided them with a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. My presence was with them, and my promise to bring them to the promised land remained intact. Even when they felt abandoned or unsure, I was always faithful, and I never broke my promise. In the same way, I am with you. Even when you feel like you're walking through a wilderness of your own, I am still here, guiding you, providing for you, and fulfilling my promises. Now, let's look at the promise of my presence. When I say I will never leave you nor forsake you, I am not offering a vague or conditional promise. It is an ironclad commitment. This promise is not dependent on your behavior or your faithfulness. It is not dependent on your ability to keep your side of the bargain. It is a promise that is founded in my eternal love and my unchanging nature. You may stumble, you may falter, but I am always with you. I will never abandon you, even in your most difficult times. I am with you in the valleys and on the mountaintops, in the storm and in the calm. You are never alone. This is what makes my faithfulness so incredible. It is not based on your perfection or your understanding. There are times in life when you will face seasons of uncertainty, suffering, and testing. You may cry out to me, wondering where I am in the midst of your pain. But I want you to hear this clearly. I am never far from you. I am near to you, even when you cannot feel my presence. I am walking beside you, holding you up, and guiding you through the difficult moments. I am working in ways that you may not see or understand, but rest assured, I am faithful to fulfill my promises to you. There are also times when you may feel unworthy of my promises. You may believe that because of your mistakes, your failures, or your sins, you have disqualified yourself from my faithfulness. But I want to reassure you, my child, you cannot outsin my grace. You cannot fall so far that my faithfulness cannot reach you. I have promised to forgive, to cleanse, and to restore. I do not hold your past against you. When you confess your sins, I am faithful and just to forgive you, and to purify you from all unrighteousness. 1 John 1:9. My faithfulness to you does not depend on your perfection, but on my love and my grace. Look at the story of David, a man after my own heart, yet he was not without flaws. David made mistakes. He sinned. He fell short. But through it all, my faithfulness never wavered. I continued to fulfill my promises to David, and I established his throne forever. Even in the midst of his failings, I remained faithful to the covenant I made with him. Just as I was faithful to David, I am faithful to you. No matter where you've been, no matter what you've done, I am faithful to keep my promises to you. The ultimate display of my faithfulness is found in the gift of Jesus Christ, my Son. The promise of salvation, forgiveness, and eternal life was sealed through his death and resurrection. When I sent my Son to die for you, it was the ultimate sign of my faithfulness to keep my word. I promised a Savior, and I sent Jesus. He is the fulfillment of every promise I have made to you, and in him, you have the assurance that my faithfulness to you will never end. His resurrection is a guarantee that my promises are true, and that the victory I've promised you is already secured. I want you to know, my child, that I am always at work for your good, even in seasons of hardship. Just because you cannot see the outcome yet, doesn't mean I am not working. Just because things feel uncertain or out of control, doesn't mean I've forgotten you. I am always working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail of your life to fulfill my perfect plan. Trust in my faithfulness, even when you can't see the results. My promises are sure, and I will bring them to pass at the perfect time. Finally, I want you to take comfort in this truth. My faithfulness is eternal. The world around you may change, people may disappoint you, but I will remain faithful, always. The promises I've made to you are not temporary, they are eternal. You can count on my faithfulness not just for today or tomorrow, but for the rest of your life and for all eternity. So, my beloved child, as you walk through this life, hold tight to the truth of my faithfulness. Remember that I will never leave you nor forsake you. No matter what life brings, no matter how difficult the journey may be, I am with you, and I will always fulfill my promises to you. Rest in that assurance. Trust in that unbreakable truth. My faithfulness is your refuge, your peace, and your hope. My beloved child, in the chaos and uncertainty of life, there is one thing that I want you to hold on to, one thing that I am offering to you freely: peace. Not just any peace, but unshakable peace. Peace that surpasses all understanding. Peace that remains steady in the midst of the fiercest storms of life. When the world around you is crumbling, when fear and anxiety seem to overwhelm you, I offer you a peace that the world cannot give, and that nothing can take away. You see, the peace I offer is not like the peace that the world gives. The world's peace is conditional and temporary. It depends on circumstances being right, on everything being in order, on your plans unfolding perfectly. But the peace I offer is not dependent on your circumstances. It is a peace that remains in your heart, no matter what is happening around you. When you face trials, when the storm rages, this peace will guard your heart and mind, because I am with you, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. In John 14:27, I told my disciples, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." These words are not just for them, my beloved child. They are for you too. I give you peace, my peace, a peace that transcends the turmoil of life. It is not a peace that is found in the absence of trouble, but a peace that comes from knowing that I am with you in the storm. I am with you in every challenge, every trial, every moment of fear and uncertainty. Think about the storm that the disciples faced in Mark 4:35-41, when they were in a boat with me, and a violent storm suddenly arose. The wind was howling, the waves were crashing over the boat, and the disciples were filled with panic and fear. Yet I was asleep in the boat. When they woke me in desperation, I spoke to the wind and the waves, and immediately there was calm. Then I asked them, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" I want you to reflect on that for a moment. The storm was real, the danger was real, the fear they felt was real. Yet in the midst of all of it, I was with them, and that made all the difference. The storm didn't dictate their peace. My presence in the storm brought them peace. The same is true for you. When the storms of life come, when everything around you seems unstable and uncertain, you do not need to be afraid. I am with you in the storm, and I will bring you peace that will guard your heart and mind. In this world, you will face trouble. I did not promise that you would live a life free from hardship, pain, or challenges. In fact, I warned you that in this world you will have trouble. John 16:33. But I did not leave you there. I also promised, "But take heart. I have overcome the world." This is the promise I am making to you today. In the midst of your trials, I will give you peace. I am greater than the storms you face. I have already overcome the world, and I am with you, walking beside you, carrying you when you can't carry yourself. This peace is not just a fleeting feeling or a momentary escape from reality. It is a deep, abiding sense of calm in your soul, a peace that transcends circumstances, a peace that guards your heart and mind. It is the kind of peace that allows you to rest in the midst of a storm, knowing that I have everything under control, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. There are many things in life that can steal your peace: worry, fear, anxiety, loss, disappointment. But I want you to know, my child, none of these things can take away the peace I offer you unless you allow them to. When you fix your eyes on me, when you turn your heart to my presence, when you trust in my promises, you will find rest. I am the Prince of Peace, and in my presence there is peace beyond measure. Look at the story of Paul and Silas in Acts 16:25-34. They were thrown into prison for preaching the gospel. They were beaten, chained, and locked in the inner cell, yet in the midst of their suffering, they were not filled with fear or despair. Instead, they sang hymns of praise to me. They had peace in the midst of their trial. And when an earthquake shook the prison, their chains were loosened, the doors were opened, and the jailer and his family came to know me as their Savior. Their peace, their joy, their trust in me became a witness to those around them. This story illustrates the power of the peace I give. It's a peace that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. When you have my peace, nothing in this world can disturb your soul. When you are rooted in me, when you trust in my presence, you can face any storm with calm assurance. There may be times when you don't understand why you are going through a particular trial. It may seem overwhelming, and the pain may feel unbearable. But my child, I want you to trust in my faithfulness. I will never leave you. Even when the storm seems unrelenting, I am with you, and my peace will sustain you. My presence in your life is a promise that you will never walk alone. Remember the words I spoke to my followers in Matthew 11:28-30. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. This is my invitation to you today, my beloved child. When you are overwhelmed by the weight of life, come to me, and I will give you rest. Let me carry your burdens. Let my peace fill your heart and mind. When you face life's storms, remember this: I am with you, and I offer you peace. Peace that will not be shaken. Peace that will carry you through every trial. Peace that is grounded in my presence and my promises. No matter how fierce the storm may be, I will never leave you, and I will give you peace. Take a deep breath and rest in the assurance that you are not alone. My peace is yours, and it is unshakable. Trust in me and you will find rest. In the storms of life, my beloved child, you are safe in my embrace. My beloved child, one of the most profound truths that I want you to know and deeply understand is this: I love you with an everlasting love. A love that does not fluctuate based on your actions, your failures, or your successes. My love for you is constant, unchanging, and unyielding. In every moment of your life, whether it's a time of joy or a season of struggle, I am with you, loving you, guiding you, and holding you close. You might wonder, how can God's love be constant when the world around me is always changing? When people come and go, when circumstances shift, when your heart is filled with doubt or fear, how can God's love remain steadfast and unwavering? But my child, this is the beauty of my love. It does not depend on the world's standards, nor is it influenced by your circumstances. My love is an eternal, divine love that is not bound by time, not limited by human understanding. It is a love that has existed from before time began and will continue long after this world has passed away. It is the kind of love that can never be taken away, no matter what you go through in life. In Jeremiah 31:3, I say to you, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with loving kindness. This verse is a reminder to you that I do not love you based on what you have done or how well you perform. My love for you has always been and always will be It is unconditional because it is rooted in who I am, not in who you are or what you can do. I love you because I am love, and I have chosen to pour that love out on you. When you feel alone, when you feel as though no one understands or cares about what you're going through, remember that my love is always with you. In the quiet moments of your life, when you're sitting in silence or when you're facing challenges, my love is a constant presence that never leaves. It's the love that comforts, the love that strengthens, and the love that gives hope when everything else seems hopeless. Think of the story of the prodigal son in Luke 15:11-32. The son left his father's house, squandered all his inheritance, and found himself in a place of despair and destitution. Yet when he returned, broken and humbled, his father didn't turn him away. Instead, the father ran to him, embraced him, and threw a great feast in his honor. This is a picture of my love for you, my child. Even when you stray, even when you feel lost or when you feel unworthy of my love, I am always ready to welcome you back with open arms. No matter how far you've gone, no matter what mistakes you've made, my love never abandons you. In Romans 8:38-39, I assure you of this powerful truth. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation, will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. This passage is a promise that nothing can separate you from my love. Not your fears, not your mistakes, not your disappointments, nor the difficulties you face in life. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. You are held securely in my loving hands, and I will never let you go. In your life, you may experience moments when you feel like you are walking through the valley of the shadow of death, when it feels like everything is falling apart. You might wonder, does God still love me? Why is this happening to me? But my child, I want you to hear this clearly. Even in the darkest moments, my love is still with you. It never leaves you, never fades, never grows cold. I am always with you, and my love is a constant companion, a guiding force that will never change. In Psalm 23:4, I said, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." The love I offer is not a love that only exists in times of happiness or prosperity. It is a love that remains with you, even in the darkest valleys of life. When you are grieving, when you are hurting, when you feel abandoned or forgotten, my love is your comfort, your strength, and your refuge. My love does not withdraw when times are tough. It draws nearer, and it is in those moments of hardship that my love becomes more real, more tangible, and more powerful than ever before. I also want you to know that my love does not depend on your perfection. In this world, people may love you only when you're doing well, when you're performing at your best, when you're making them proud. But my love is not like that. I do not love you based on your ability to be perfect or to get everything right. In fact, I love you even in your imperfection. I see your flaws, your weaknesses, your mistakes, and I still love you deeply, just as you are. You don't have to earn my love. You are already loved, accepted, and valued by me just as you are. In Romans 5:8, I said, "But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." This is the depth of my love for you. I didn't wait for you to get it all together. I didn't wait for you to clean yourself up or prove yourself worthy of my love. I loved you first, even when you were lost in sin. And even now, my love remains for you, unchanging. unwavering, and eternal. Now, my beloved child, I want you to understand that my love is not passive or distant. It's active, it's personal, and it's always pursuing you. I am always reaching out to you, calling you to come closer, to experience the fullness of my love in a deeper way. I long for you to know my love intimately, to experience it in your heart, to feel it in every moment of your life. I want you to rest in my love, to know that it's a love that will never leave you, no matter where you are or what you're going through. You may feel unworthy, you may feel like you've messed up too many times, but I want you to know that nothing can separate you from my love. I have loved you with an everlasting love, and that love is the same today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I will never leave you nor forsake you. No matter where you go in life, no matter what happens, my love will always be your constant companion, your anchor in the storm, your comfort in times of sorrow, your strength when you are weak. You are loved, my child, deeply, fully, and unconditionally, and I will never stop loving you, my beloved child. One of the greatest assurances I can give you is that I am always present with you, not just in the joyful, peaceful moments, but also in the hard, testing, and uncertain times. I know that life can feel like a roller coaster, full of highs and lows, twists and turns that leave you feeling confused, weary, or even alone. Yet no matter the season of your life, I am with you always, through every moment, every challenge, and every triumph. In Deuteronomy 31:6, I said to you, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." These words were spoken to a people about to enter a new and uncertain chapter in their journey. They had to trust me in the unknown, and you too must trust me in the unknowns of your life, whether they are trials, decisions, or fears. I will never leave you to face life's difficulties alone. I am right there with you, walking by your side, providing you with the strength you need to endure and overcome. It is important to realize that my presence is not something that is fleeting or temporary. So often, human relationships can feel conditional. People come and go. Loved ones may be distant or unavailable. But I, the Lord your God, am with you in a way that no one else can be. My presence with you is constant, unwavering, and eternal. There is never a moment when I am not with you, even if you do not always sense it. The very fact that you are still breathing, still moving, still waking up each day is evidence that I am with you, giving you the strength to face whatever comes your way. Let me remind you that my presence is not limited to the moments of celebration or success. It is especially present in times of pain, sorrow, and struggle. In Psalm 34:18, I told you, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." When your heart is aching, when you are facing loss or despair, you may not always feel that I am near. But, beloved, I am closer to you than you may realize. In your moments of deepest pain, I draw even nearer. I do not abandon you in your sorrow. I am the God who walks with you through the wilderness, the one who comforts you in your darkest hour. My presence is the balm for your wounds, the peace in the storm, the hope in the despair. You may feel overwhelmed, as though the weight of the world is too much for you to bear. In those moments, remember that I am carrying you. In Isaiah 41:10, I say to you, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Even when you feel as though you are sinking beneath the waves of life, I will hold you up. You do not have to walk this path alone. I will strengthen you, help you, and uphold you every step of the way. In times of uncertainty, when you don't know where to turn or what to do next, my presence is the compass that guides you. I will lead you to the right paths, show you the way forward, and direct your steps according to my will. You do not have to make every decision on your own. Lean on me. In Proverbs 3:5-6, I promise, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. I know that there are times when it feels like the road ahead is unclear, but I will guide you. Just trust in me, seek my presence, and follow my lead. There is comfort in knowing that I am always with you, no matter the situation or place. It is not just a theoretical or distant concept. My presence is personal and tangible. I am not an abstract idea or a distant God who watches from afar. I am near to you, actively involved in your life. In the highs and lows, I am right by your side. Just as I walked with Adam and Eve in the garden, just as I walked with the Israelites through the wilderness, just as I walked with my disciples during my time on earth, I walk with you today. My presence surrounds you like a protective shield. You may feel that God's presence is difficult to experience at times, especially when you are facing challenges or trials. But I want you to understand that I am with you even when you can't feel my presence. Faith is the key that unlocks the awareness of my presence in your life. Even when you cannot see me, feel me, or understand the circumstances, trust in the truth that I am near. I am working behind the scenes, preparing you, strengthening you, and carrying you through the storm. Sometimes you may feel like you are walking through the valley of shadow and death, but remember that I walk with you, and my presence will bring you to safety. The presence of God also means that you are never alone. You have a constant companion in your life. Even when others may turn their backs or you find yourself isolated, I am your constant companion. It is a reassurance that I am present with you always, and nothing can separate you from my love. Romans 8:39. You are never outside of my reach. Many times, the enemy tries to make you feel isolated, unloved, or abandoned, especially when the storms of life seem overwhelming. But remember, I am with you even in the storm. Think of the disciples in the boat on the Sea of Galilee when they were terrified by the storm. They saw the waves and felt the wind, and they feared for their lives. But I was in the boat with them, the very one who commanded the wind and the waves. I told them, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Mark 4:40. Even when the storm raged, I was present with them. And so, even in your storms, I am present with you. I am the God who calms the storms, but I am also the God who walks with you through them. You are not alone in your struggles. I have promised that I will never leave you, and I will not break that promise. One of the most beautiful aspects of this promise is that it is not conditional. It does not depend on your performance or on how worthy you are to receive my presence. You do not have to earn my love or my companionship. When I say, "I will never leave you nor forsake you," I am telling you that my love for you is constant, regardless of your circumstances or shortcomings. You do not have to be perfect to be with me. My presence is a gift, freely given to you because of the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross. Through his death and resurrection, you have been reconciled to me, and nothing, not sin, not shame, not failure, can separate you from the love I have for you. In your moments of weakness, know that I am your strength. In your times of fear, know that I am your courage. In your doubts, know that I am your assurance. Even when you do not know what tomorrow holds, you can hold on to the promise that I will never leave you nor forsake you. There may be moments when the road ahead is unclear, when you do not know which way to go, when life's choices seem impossible. But remember, I am your guide. I will lead you to the places where I want you to be. I will direct your steps, even when you cannot see the next one. Trust in my guidance, and trust that I will not leave you to wander alone. Just as I led the Israelites through the wilderness, just as I led my disciples when they didn't understand, I will lead you. And finally, remember that I will never leave you, because I am committed to your good. My plans for you are filled with hope, peace, and purpose. There is a reason for every season, a lesson to learn, a purpose to fulfill. The difficulties you face today are not the end of your story. I am with you, not just for your comfort, but to help you grow, to shape you, and to fulfill the purpose I have for your life. The fact that I am with you means that the work I began in you will be completed. Philippians 1:6. So, beloved, know this: no matter what you face, no matter what challenges or victories lie ahead, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I am with you in the good times and the bad. I am with you in your struggles and your triumphs. I will always be your God, your comforter, your protector, and your guide. Rest in the assurance of my presence, for it is an unshakable, unfailing promise. My beloved child, I understand that there are times in your life when trials seem endless. You face challenges that seem insurmountable, circumstances that seem hopeless, and burdens that feel too heavy to carry. It is in these moments that you may feel as if you are walking alone, uncertain of where to turn or what the next step is. But even in the deepest valleys of your life, I want you to know this: I am with you, guiding you, strengthening you, and walking beside you every single step of the way. When I say, I will never leave you nor forsake you, I am not just offering you a promise of comfort in the easy times, but a declaration of my presence in the midst of your darkest trials. I am not only the God who blesses you in times of peace and prosperity, but the God who stands by you when your life is falling apart. When the storm rages, I am the stillness in the chaos. When you feel lost, I am the compass that directs your way. When your heart breaks, I am the healer who mends it. It is often in the midst of trials and suffering that you begin to question my presence, wondering if I have truly abandoned you. Yet I assure you that even in the most difficult moments, I am closer to you than you can imagine. It may not always feel like I am near, but that does not change the truth that I am with you, always. The very fact that you are still standing, still holding on, still moving forward, is evidence of my presence in your life. I never promised that you would never face trials, but I did promise that you would never face them alone. Consider the journey of the Apostle Paul. He endured unimaginable hardships, imprisonment, beatings, shipwrecks, and betrayal. Yet, despite the overwhelming circumstances, Paul knew that God was with him. He writes in 2 Corinthians 4:8-9, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed." These words are not just a reflection of Paul's strength, but of God's strength within him. It is in the midst of difficulty that God's power is most evident. The same God who sustained Paul in his trials is the same God who will sustain you. When you face trials, know that God is at work in ways you cannot always see. In the midst of suffering, He is shaping your character, building your faith, and preparing you for a greater purpose. Romans 5:3-4 says, "We also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. Your trials are not in vain, beloved child. They are refining you, making you more like my Son, Jesus Christ, and bringing you closer to the person I created you to be. In the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, 3 men who refused to worship the king's idol and were thrown into a fiery furnace, we see a powerful illustration of my presence in the midst of trials. The flames were so intense that they killed the guards who threw the men into the fire. Yet, when the king looked into the furnace, he saw 4 figures walking in the fire, not 3. The 4th figure was none other than my Son, Jesus Christ. In their trial, these men were not alone. I was with them in the fire, protecting them, shielding them from harm. Just as I was with them, so too am I with you in the fires of your trials. You may feel like you're being consumed by the flames, but I will be with you, a presence that cannot be burned away. And remember, beloved, that I never waste a tear. Every moment of suffering, every tear you shed, is not without purpose. I see your pain, and I collect your tears in a bottle, as it says in Psalm 56:8. I am present in your pain, not as a distant observer, but as a close and loving Father who shares in your burdens. You may feel as though no one understands, but I understand fully. I know the depth of your sorrow, for my Son Jesus has walked the path of suffering himself. He endured the cross for you, and he is with you in your suffering, giving you the strength to endure. You may wonder why trials are necessary, why you must walk through such difficult seasons. It is in these seasons that you will experience my faithfulness in ways you could never have imagined. You will see my power at work in your weakness. When you feel that you cannot go any further, I will carry you. When you are weary, I will give you rest. And in the end, you will look back and see that it was through these trials that I brought you closer to me. I do not cause suffering, but I use it to draw you near, to refine you, and to help you experience my glory in ways that would not be possible otherwise. In Isaiah 43:2, I say, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. No matter what trial you face, my promise remains unbroken. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. The fire will not consume you. The waters will not drown you. I will be with you in every circumstance, and I will see you through to the other side. In the depths of your trials, it is easy to lose sight of my presence. The weight of pain, sorrow, and confusion can cloud your vision.